Alright, after doing a solo run speed run with the disgusting rock crab Presto, we finally get a chance to use something somewhat decent, let's just say. So, Magnezone is actually going to be... Well, actually, I was completely wrong from last video. Last video I said that Magnezone was going to be our first Pokemon with the 4 times weakness. I completely forgot we had Charizard Y, Mega Charizard Y. But, so, I expected Magnezone to actually... From the surface, it seems like it'd be very bad for a solo run, mainly due to few factors. One, it has a 4 times weakness to ground. 2, it has base 60 speed, which means there's probably going to be a couple Pokemon that's not outspeeding. However, its typing is actually not that bad. So electric and steel type, it actually has a lot of weaknesses, especially in the main game. And there's actually a lot less ground type moves than you would think. Ground type moves or ground type Pokemon. There's actually not that many in the normal playthrough. So actually, probably what we struggled more with was with fighting types. But even then, I don't think I struggled too much with that. The main problem I had with Magnezone is that it gets no variety in moves. Like, I'm not even kidding. This thing only gets electric, steel, and normal type moves in this entire learn set. And damaging moves, so that's not including but that's also including TMs. So anything that can possibly do damage is either electric, steel, or normal, which obviously means that we do not hit electric types whatsoever. And this was actually the first time I decided to look into hitting power, but hitting power is very RNG based. We don't know what type it is at the start, we can only guess, but actually I did find out during the run that you can actually check the hitting power type before you actually do it. But anyways, Magnezone actually shows some really nice stats other than speed stat, like 115 base defense, 90 base special defense, and 130 base special attack. It's kind of crazy, which means this thing is going to do a lot of damage. And so anyways, when we start off the run, we do start off with the Sonic Boom TM, which helps us with Roxanne, considering she has a Geodude, and we cannot hit that with Thundershock, and we do not have any steel type moves at the time, so the only way we had to break through was using Sonic Boom on Geodude, which was pretty helpful, and then we could just Thundershock the nose pass. And then when we get to Brawly, it actually, so I was a little worried about this because it's a fighting type, but it actually wasn't too bad. So we popped in O-Power special attack, so we had to +1 Thundershock, and from that we are actually able to just take down everything in a couple blows. And after that is the Watson, I guess the biggest checkpoint, I guess to say. So obviously Watson, electric type gym leader, we don't hit electric types, but when we get to Mafia City, we actually do get to buy a TM at the Pokemart. Obviously not Bulldoze, but we do get Charge Beam, and Charge Beam has, I think, a 50 or 70% chance at boosting your special attack each time you use it. And when we get into battle, it actually proved that Magnezone can actually break through the Pokemon pretty well. A lot better than I expected. I think, if I remember correctly, one Charge Beam did over half of Magnemite's health. So it was actually very much easier to deal with. And since we are electric type, we don't have to electric and steel type, we don't have to worry about being paralyzed or poison at all. So I didn't need to pick up the cherry or Petra Berry, only the orange berry to make things slightly faster, but I think that difference is kind of minuscule. So with that, Watson was down, and next up is Flannery. Flannery was an issue, and not even just Flannery, but the gym trainers beforehand. So the trainer right before Flannery kind of one-shot me with, actually it wasn't even, yeah, no, it just one-shot me with Overheat. So actually it wasn't even just one trainer, it was there was 2 different trainers that just one-shot me with Overheat, and that kind of made me worried for Flannery, because I was like, how am I gonna deal with Flannery, right? If I can't deal with some of the gym trainers. But I think after some luck, and I think I might have used some O powers, to get through those trainers, I was able to take on Flannery. And so my strategy for Flannery was just, there was no strategy. It was just pop an O-Power special attack and hope we can deal enough damage. Luckily, we were able to one-shot Slugma with Charge Beam, and then for Numo, we had Mirror Shot, which actually did one-shot as well. And then Torkoal obviously just died to a two charge beams, so it kind of made me realize that I didn't need an O-Power special defense. I had it just in case I needed to tank and overheat. And then for Norman, obviously it wasn't much of an issue. He can't really touch steel types that much, especially with his stab. So next up, Winona. Surprise, surprise, wasn't an issue. So with Winona down, I think the next step was Tay and Liza. Tay and Liza really wasn't an issue either, because at that point we actually unlocked the move Flash Cannon. So with a nice Flash Cannon, we can just blow back everything, and they can't really do much damage to us. They only have Psychic and Rock Slide to actually deal damage. And then after that, it's time to fight. Let's see, this is Alpha Sapphire, so we had to fight Archie. And I usually hate Archie because if you're not using a super strong offensive Pokemon that doesn't need like actual turns to set up, he is really, really annoying. However, we were actually fine this time because we, at this point in the game, we did have hitting power, and his Muck can't do any damage to us. It only has poison type moves, so we really didn't have to worry about anything. And going into the fight, I used an O-Power special attack. Actually, no, I first popped up in O-Power speed, but then after he revealed, or after he used Scary Face, I realized, okay, that's not possible to outspeed everything. But at this point, actually beating Mightyana gave me Discharge, so it was a nice move to just learn. So then Crobat comes in, and we just easily take it out with Discharge. And normally, he goes into Muck, but his Muck can't do any damage to us, but it did use Screech, sharply lowering our defenses, meaning that Sharpedo could easily one-shot us. However, due to the AI, the Muck realized, oh, it can't do any damage to us, so then it switched into Sharpedo as I went for Discharge, so boom. Sharpedo was dead, which means the only threat to us was gone. And then with that, we easily took down Archie. And here's where I made a huge mistake. I did not get the Master Ball for Primal Kyogre because I thought I could beat it. And so I fucked up. I messed up. I couldn't beat it in a fight. So then I had to take drastic measures, meaning I had to use O-Powers right before I went in, giving myself an O-Power special defense and popped a bunch of X special defense. And except on the second time, it didn't even go for it. I didn't go for Origin Pulse, so it was actually fine. On the second try, that is. But I completely felt bad because I completely ruined my time like that. I think I wasted around like 7 minutes. 6-7 minutes off of that, so that was something that never should have happened as long as I just got the Master Ball. And if Wallace, you might be able to guess the result of that. Surprisingly, I think I used actually I just remembered, Wallace was not easy, not as easy as you would think. He has a Wish Cache, and guess what type Wish Cache is? Water Ground. And what are my stabs? Electric Steel. They don't do any damage to Magnezone. And hitting power does not deal enough damage at +1. I need to set up X items. I need to use X items if I ever want to beat it. So yeah, that's what I did. So it was easy to set up on Love Disc, obviously. So all I did was just spam X defense so I could tank damage from Wish Cache. And then after that, just swept the rest of his team. So that happened. Yeah, and then for Wally at Victory Red, I don't think he was much of an issue. I think I had to use a bunch of XPs and X special attack to make sure I outsped Mega Gallade and was able to just defeat it in one go, because I know a close combat would have just taken me out, and I did not want to risk that. And the next, it was time for the Elite Four. And the Elite Four, Cindy, I don't think was a too big of an issue. He did deal a decent amount of damage, but mainly it was just Mightyana being annoying. I think I actually did had to fight him twice. Actually think I did lose to him once. Yeah, but I think it was actually just because I forgot what happened. I actually forgot what happened, but I did lose to him once, but the second time it wasn't much of an issue. Especially, I think I just set up using 8 X items and it wasn't too bad. I think it was Swagger that's kind of messed with me during my first try, and I would like to reiterate countless times, I hate Swagger, I hate confusion. It is so annoying in this game. It's actually the most annoying thing I've had to deal with during all of these runs. But next is Phoebe, and obviously Phoebe is terrifying. It's all luck dependent because we do not deal enough damage to one-shot it. And so we can use an O-Power special attack, but it was actually enough. So I lied to you guys. So I was actually significantly surprised by that, but I guess it was also the 130 base special attack putting in work, especially at +1, and we were able to just take out everything else in one hit. So big surprise, very happy about that, especially because what's it called? Phoebe is usually the biggest obstacle in any run that doesn't have any special effective move to deal with there. But for that, we go into Glacia, and yeah, Glacia is not a problem. I don't even think I use any X items in this one because I hit everything nice and clean. But next up was Drake, and luckily, actually, I think right before Drake, I did learn Magnet Rise. I'm just trying to remember if I did or not. But yeah, with Magnet Rise, it wasn't much of an issue. But still, I think I still set up a bunch of... Oh yeah, so I did learn Magnet Rise before this, so I didn't have to worry about his Flygons. But I think I still use some X speed and X special attack just because I wanted to be able to take out everything in one hit to make it nice and quick. But by having Magnet Rise, I didn't have to worry about Earthquake, which was the only thing that could potentially threaten and kill me in case something goes wrong. But next up, finally, we go up against Steven, and I think for this one, I also spammed X defense and along with X speed and X special attack because I knew Aggron might have Earthquake, and I don't want to take any risks. And I know his Claydol has Earth Power, and because it has Earth Power, that means we had to boost our speed and special attack so we can one-shot it and don't have to worry about dying to it. After a bunch of X items, we were able to sweep Steven and beat the game at a time of 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 39 seconds, which actually was not too bad. I think, if I remember correctly, let me pull up the leaderboards. Yeah, so Magnezone here was around 1 minute slower than Leafeon, but this also puts it above or faster than Mega Venusaur and Mega Charizard Y, which is not too bad. Kind of better than I expected since it is has a pretty non-diverse moveset, so I assumed that this would be a lot more slower, but actually wasn't too many I guess walls to deal with us because after Watson there's not too many electric types anyways. So that's it for Magnezone. Thank you for watching. Next up is another electric type, but one that is significantly worse, and that is Stunfisk. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. See ya.